Okay, so we're going to start here at the Google Ads homepage, and I already have a Google account. So what I'm going to do is use that Google account to create a new Google Ads account. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Start Now. And when you get started with a new account, they're going to ask, what's your main advertising goal? Now, what I would recommend doing is not going through this process, scrolling down, and you want to switch to expert mode. So we're going to come down here to Are you a professional marketer? Switch to expert mode. Now this will bring us right to the screen to build a new campaign, and they're going to ask to choose our objective. Now what I would recommend doing is creating an account without a campaign. So that's what we're going to do now, is create an account without a campaign. And now what we're going to have to do is set up our billing information. So you want to start with your billing country, your time zone, and your currency. So in this case, these all match what I have. So I'm going to click on submit. And we got a message, congrats, you're all done. So now what we're ready to do is explore our account. So the first thing that we need to do is set up our billing in case we do want to run an actual campaign. So you're not going to be charged in Google Ads until you actually start driving clicks for your business or whatever type of campaign you're running. But for the most part, it's going to be clicks. So you're not going to be charged when you set up your Google Ads account, and you're not even charged when you launch a campaign until your campaign starts getting some activity. So they're going to have messages here like this, discover new insights, and there's really no downside to going through some of the new insights and some of the different tips that Google Ads gives you. In this case, I'm just going to click on Got It, and what you want to do is go to Tools and Settings up here at the top, and over here on Billing, you want to come over to Settings. Okay, now this is where you want to set up your new billing, your payments, however you're going to do payments for your Google Ads account. I usually just use a credit card. So what you have here is billing country, mine is United States, and then you're going to have a currency here that you need to choose as well. And then we're going to scroll down here and you're going to see account type. So you could do individual or organization depending on what type of account you have. In this case, I'm just going to do individual, and it's going to say to add a credit or debit card. So that's where you're going to want to add your card number here. So I just set mine up as Corey Farmhouse when I created my new Google Ads account. So that's what it's showing for my cardholder name. But in this case, you want to enter your card number here, your cardholder name, and your zip code, and click on submit. So you can learn more about how you're charged. You'll see you'll be charged automatically on the first of each month. If your balance reaches your payment threshold before then, you'll be charged immediately. You might see some initial charges, some smaller charges when you first start with Google Ads because your payment thresholds are smaller when you first get started. I will link to this learn more so you learn how you are going to be billed for your Google Ads account. So that's where you need to get started, is how you're going to actually pay for your advertising. I'm going to click on cancel for right now because I'm not actually going to be running ads in this account. So we're going to come back over here to our Google Ads account. And what you're going to see is, let's start by creating a new campaign and ad groups for your business. Now, one of the things you're going to see is if you click to create a new campaign, some of the objectives here are sales and leads. So these actually take into account the actions that are happening on your website, whether they are purchases like a sale or they are leads. Somebody fills out a form, maybe someone gives you a phone call. So all of those can be different types of objectives that are also referred to as conversions in Google Ads. And that allows you to optimize your campaigns for your key performance indicators. So before you even launch your campaign, I would highly recommend setting up conversion tracking. And we can do that by going to Tools and Settings. And in this case, you want to come over here to Measurement, and you want to go to the Conversion screen. So this is where you can actually create new conversions that you can optimize your campaigns for. So you can see how Google Ads help you achieve your goals. So conversion tracking helps you see which keywords, ads, ad groups, and campaigns drive the customer actions that you care about. Purchases, subscriptions, app installs, phone calls, and more. Basically, any measure of success for your business, no matter what it is, can be measured in Google Ads, and you can actually optimize your campaigns and your budgets to drive more conversions. So that's why we want to start with conversion tracking. Now, in my case, I'm going to be using my Google Analytics 4 account, and I'm going to import my main conversion for Farmhouse Goals. I already have my conversion tracking set up in Google Analytics 4. So if you come over here to conversion events, you're going to find that here in configure. When you go to configure, you'll see your events, your conversions, and your audiences. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over here to conversions, and you can see I have my affiliate click conversion right here. So what we want to do is I want to link my Google Analytics 4 account to my Google Ads account so that they can essentially communicate with each other, and I can import this conversion, affiliate click, directly into my Google Ads account. So what you want to do now is go to Tools and Settings, and you want to come to under Setup, and you want to click on Linked Accounts. You'll see here all the different accounts that you can link to your Google Ads account. For example, if you have a Google Merchant Center account where you have a feed of your products on your website and you're using Google Merchant Center, you can link this account directly to your Google Ads account. You can link your Google Analytics 4 account right here. Now, Google announced that they are going to be ending the use of Google Analytics, the UA, Universal Analytics Edition. So they're moving over to Google Analytics 4. So I would highly recommend getting started. If you don't know how to get started with Google Analytics 4, just go to analytics.google.com and you can create a brand new analytics account. And there's a bunch of different setup guides no matter what type of website you're running. So it's very easy to set up Google Analytics 4 on your website. You basically can use either some built-in apps. There are a bunch of built-in plugins through WordPress. There are built-in apps through other providers like Shopify that allow you to easily track all of your Google Analytics 4 data. And even if you are using WordPress or Shopify, a lot of them will allow you to just use your Google Analytics 4 ID, and they'll be able to link this account to your website so that you're actually getting all of that traffic data, where people are coming from, how you're driving conversions. All of that data is really important so you can get the most basically from your website and your business. So what we're going to do here is we have our Google Analytics 4 account installed on my website. And what I want to promote today are all of my different product category pages. I want to promote all of these, and then I have a separate sale on my website that I'm going to show you how you can run ads to optimize for specific pages or optimize for a specific sale that you're running. So that's what I'm going to be trying to show you today throughout this video. So what we want to do now is we're going to come over here to product links, and I have my Google Analytics 4 account. I have editor access in Google Analytics 4. So if we come over here to the admin screen and we scroll over here to account access management in Google Analytics 4, you can see I have direct permissions in this account through my new Google account. So what we want to do is we're going to come over here to Google Ads again. We're in the linked account screen, and we're going to come over to Google Analytics 4 and click on details. So you can see here I have two properties. So the first was a Google Analytics 4 example account. So they made me create that account when I set up my Google Analytics 4. And then what I have is my access to farmhouse goals. So what I can do is first you want to turn on auto tagging. So you can see turning on auto tagging allows Google Analytics to associate that data with Google Ads clicks. So you want to turn on auto tagging first. Okay, now that will help you track all of your campaigns directly into Google Analytics 4. And then what we want to do is click on link here. So when we click on link, we're going to import Google Analytics audiences. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So we're going to turn this on as well, and we're going to click on link. Okay, so now I have my Google Analytics 4 account linked to my Google Ads account. And what I want to show you next is how to create a conversion event through Google Analytics 4. So if we come back over here to configure, you're going to see first there are going to be a bunch of existing events here. So you can set any of these events as a conversion. Now, most of them aren't going to be something that you're going to set as a conversion. For example, you can set scroll as a conversion, which means people scroll down a certain percentage of the page. So we can set that as a conversion, and then every time someone actually visits our page and scrolls down, it would count as a conversion. Now for me, my main event is an affiliate click. So on my website, I have strictly just affiliate products. So every time someone clicks on one of my affiliate links, that counts as a conversion in my Google Analytics 4 account. So what I want to do is import that into my Google Ads account. So once we already have our conversion event set up here, what we can do is we can come over here to our Google Ads account. We can go to Tools and Settings, and we're going to come over under Measurement and click on Conversions again. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click to create a new conversion action. And what we want to do is use import here. So we're going to import data from our Google Analytics account, and we're going to be using our Google Analytics 4 property. So we're going to select that here, and we're going to choose Web. So we're scrolling down, and we're going to click on Continue again. And you'll see all four of my different events here. So if we come back over, you can see all four of these conversion events. Now the only one that's measuring anything is affiliate click. So that's going to be the event that I'm going to be optimizing my campaigns for. So we're going to choose that here, click on Import and Continue. Okay, now what you're going to see here is things to note. This action is included in the conversions column, so you definitely want your action to be included in the conversions column because that will allow you to optimize your campaign for that conversion. So we're going to click on Done now, and you're going to see we have Other here, so it's it's going to be considered an other goal, which is fine because it's not technically a purchase on my website. I can use it as a purchase goal. I can use it as a lead goal, but we're just going to click on leave right now to exit the guide. You can go through all those different guides as you create your Google Ads account. It will only help you learn more about the platform. So if we click here on the conversion action, one thing that we can do is if we click on edit settings, so we can come here, you can see right now it's an other category. So I can choose this as a lead category. I could say it's someone who submitted a lead form. I could say it's somebody who began the checkout process because they're going through to one of my affiliate pages. For right now, it being an other is perfectly fine. So we're just going to keep this as other. We're going to choose a primary action used for bidding optimization. Now the conversion name, we're going to keep that as is. One thing you can do is you can set a value for certain conversions. So for this one, there's no value. So it's just going to use $1 as our value. So every conversion is basically just going to count as 1. Now, if we scroll down here, a few things down here at the bottom. So we can count every conversion or one conversion. I'm just going to choose to count every single conversion. So you can choose 1 if it's something like a lead form, because if somebody is submitting a lead form twice, it really only counts as 1 lead. So we're going to click on save here. Now, the other thing you can do is the click through conversion window. So conversions can happen days after a person interacts with your ad. So select the maximum time after an ad interaction that you want to count conversions. So you can set this anywhere from 90 days down to 1 week. Usually 30 days is the default, and I usually just keep it at 30 days. But if you want to do something like 90 days, if your lead time is much longer than normal, so for some companies, people might reach out and it might take several months for them to make a decision. For other people, it's basically if the conversion doesn't happen within that week, it's not likely to happen. So you can choose a conversion window, whatever works the best for your business. So we're going to click on 30 days here and just keep it as is. Now, attribution model, there are different attribution models that you can choose from. If you know that people are clicking on different ads, maybe clicking on your website in the organic search results, maybe they find you through social media. If there's a bunch of different ways that people actually interact with your business, you might want to consider something like a linear or a time decay attribution model. So that will give credit to clicks that happen closer in time to the conversion. For a time decay, for linear, it will give conversion credit equally across all clicks on the path. Now, last click is just giving credit to the last clicked advertisement. In my case, I'm going to choose last click. My click-through conversion window is generally a shorter period than a lot of other businesses. People usually click on ads and they either click through an affiliate link or they don't. So in my case, I'm going to choose last click here, 30 days. We're going to count every conversion. So we're not really changing anything here, and we're going to click on done. Now, let's just say you have a Shopify website or a BigCommerce website or a WooCommerce website, and you're selling physical products, and you want to make sure you're tracking every single sale and the revenue attached as the value. Then what you want to do is follow the guides they have directly on their websites. So just do basically a quick Google for Shopify Google Ads conversion tracking, and they have guides that will give you a step-by-step process to setting all of this up on your website. It's the same thing if you're using BigCommerce. You can see conversion tracking here. So they have a lot of information about having Google Ads accounts attached to your website and the best ways to track conversions. And it's going to be slightly different for all of these different websites. So rather than me trying to go through every single way to do this, all you need to do is a quick Google search. If you're running a WooCommerce website, for example, WooCommerce Google Ads conversion tracking, and you can see there's a plugin right here, WooCommerce Pixel Manager, track visitors and conversions in Google Ads, Google Analytics, Metapixel. This plugin tracks WooCommerce shop visitors and collects valuable data. So you can use these built-in plugins or apps, or even sometimes the platform that you're using might be able to easily allow you to install your Google Analytics 4 account, and you can track all of your conversions back into your Google Ads account. So follow those simple guides before you ever start running a campaign, because it's only going to help your performance if you are using conversion tracking. Now, a simple method for conversion tracking is, let's just say, for example, if we come over to my website, let's say I want to advertise a drop shipping program through my website. So I want people to drop ship my products. Now, this isn't something I'm actually offering. This is just strictly for this example. So somebody fills out this form, name, phone number, email, website, comment or message, and they click on submit. Now, when they click on submit, they automatically get redirected to this confirmation page on my website. So the only reason anyone's ever going to visit this confirmation page on my website is if they fill out that form, because there's no other way to find this page, and people are not going to directly go to my confirmation page because it's basically just a thank you for submitting your form to us. So this would be my conversion page. So you can also use this for an order confirmation. If you're selling a product for $100, then you know every time someone visits your order confirmation page that you just drove a $100 sale. So you can use that through Google Ads and then optimize your ads for that conversion. So what we're going to do is through our Google Analytics 4 account, we can come here to events and we're going to create a new event. So we're going to do create event. You can see I already have a custom event here called generate lead, but we're going to create a new custom event. And what we're going to do is we're going to say drop shipping confirmation. And actually we'll just use all lowercase here. Okay, so my custom event name here is drop shipping underscore confirmation. Matching conditions. So with this, what we can do is say page location. So that's referring to the URL. And instead of equals, what we're going to do is contains, and the value, we're just going to take the very end of the URL here with the brackets. So we're going to take the confirmation page just like that. So basically our event is going to be the dropshipping confirmation. Every time someone visits that confirmation page, we know that they just filled out our dropshipping form. So we're going to click on create here. So that is going to create a new event on our website called dropshipping confirmation, and that will track every time someone visits our confirmation page. So what we can do now is come over here to conversions. Now your events might not show up here immediately because there are thresholds with events where you need to have a certain count here for your events to even show here at all. So events where your count is low, they might not ever show up here, so you can't mark them as a conversion right over on this table. So what you have to do is come over here to conversions, and we need to just name a conversion the exact same thing that we named that previous event. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on a new conversion event, and we're going to name it the same exact thing we just did. So drop shipping confirmation. So you want to name it the exact same name as the previous event that we did in the last step, and we're going to click on save. Now that is going to create a new conversion that will match the event that we just created. So let's come back over here to events. You're going to see the event is not showing up here. So if we click on create event, what you're going to see here is dropshipping confirmation, our custom event name, and we're going to come back over here to conversions, and we have the same name here. So dropshipping underscore confirmation. So now this will start counting every time someone visits this confirmation page. And you can make sure it's working by just refreshing this page multiple times and giving some time for this data to actually show up here. You'll start to see this count increase. Now it might take a day or two for some of this information to show up. Google Analytics 4 can be a little bit slow when it comes to conversion events, but once you have this conversion event created in your Google Analytics 4 account, what we can do is come back over to Google Ads again, and we're at the conversion screen. We can click on new conversion action, import, and do the same thing we just did from our Google Analytics 4 property, choose web, and we're going to click on continue, and you're going to see right here dropshipping confirmation. So we could take this analytics event and import it into our account, and that will start counting every time someone actually fills out that form on our website. So this could be very useful, especially if you have forms on your website where you're giving people an estimate for some type of work. For example, if you're putting in a fence in your backyard, you might go to a website and they might say, give us your name, give us your address, tell us what type of fence you're interested in, and we'll come back to you with an estimate. And when someone fills out that form and clicks on submit, all you need to do is redirect them to a confirmation page, and this page will be used as your conversion. So that's a quick overview to conversion tracking. We're not going to import this one. We're just going to be focused on our main conversion action here, our affiliate clicks. So that's the way that we are going to optimize our campaigns, but it's really important to get started with conversion tracking before you do anything. Now, the next thing that I would recommend doing is in your Google Analytics 4 account, you want to come over here to the admin screen. So from the admin screen, we can actually enable remarketing in our account, which will allow us to target people who have already visited our website. So the way to do that is coming to the admin screen in your Google Analytics 4 account, going to data settings and data collection. In data collection, you need to enable Google Signals data collection. And then at the very bottom, there's going to be a user data collection acknowledgement, and you need to acknowledge this as well. So this will allow you to create remarketing audiences, and you can use them in your Google Ads account. So if we come back over here and we go to tools and settings again, and we come back to our linked accounts, we have our Google Analytics 4 and Firebase here. So we're going to click on manage and link. And just to show you real quickly, if we click on unlink and relink this account, so you can do it very easily. You can see you just click on unlink and then link again. What we did was import Google Analytics audiences after linking. So when we do that, we click on link. That's going to allow us to use the audiences that we create in our Google Analytics 4 account in our Google Ads account for our advertising. So this is going to help us find people who have already shown an interest in our website and people who are similar to them as well. So the way to do that is going to tools and settings. Under shared library here, we're going to come over to audience manager, and you're going to see we already have a bunch of audiences imported in this account. And mind you, this is a brand new account that I just created. So I didn't do anything but click on import audiences. So all you need to do to create new audiences is come over again to configure. So a lot of the things that you're doing in Google Analytics 4 that reflect in your Google Ads account is in this configure screen, because this is where you create events. This is where you can mark events as conversions, and it's also where you can create audiences. So you can see some of the different audiences that I've created already. Now, the easiest audience to create, and I think they automatically create the all users one for you and purchasers for you if you are tracking purchases on your website. I am not, so I don't have anybody in my purchasers audience. It's just showing less than 10 users. But you can see some of these different audiences that I have. Recently active users. So if you click on new audience, they have some suggested audiences here. So recently active, purchasers, and non-purchasers. You can come over here to templates, and they have a few different templates that you can choose from. And then they have predictive. This is new, but right now I'm not eligible to use any of these. So what we're going to do is create a custom audience. And to give you some of the easiest conditions you can use is if you include users when, and we come over here to add a new condition, and we come over here to events, and you just say users who have a page view. So that's basically anybody who has visited your website. If we look over a 30-day period, you can see that just choosing page view here includes 22,099.8% of all users who have been on my website over the last 30 days. You can also set this to the maximum limit, and that will basically give you the largest possible remarketing audience you can create for your website. So all you need to do is name your audience, add a description if you want to, and click on save, and that will create that new audience for you. Now you can also create a custom audience and say include users when, and use a couple different conditions here. So let's scroll down and just show some of these different examples. So e-commerce, you can see some different things here. Events, so you can do if somebody did complete a conversion event. Now there's a few here that might not be relevant at all to your website. You can choose by platform or device if you're trying to reach people who are using a specific browser or a specific device or a specific device brand. You can do by traffic source, so people who came from a specific channel like organic search, or if you're driving a lot of traffic from Pinterest. You can create all sorts of different audiences. Now one of the most basic ones is, let's just say I want to target people who have visited furniture pages on my website. So I can choose page screen here, and we can scroll down here, and you can do page title, for example. And if we scroll up just a little bit, you can also choose page location. So page location refers to the URL. Page title refers to the actual title of the page. So for example, my confirmation page, my title is just confirmation. So if we come over here and let's just say we're going to use page location, I can say add a filter and say when the URL contains, and I can do something like, they have a bunch of different links here already. I could do something like just furniture. So when the URL just contains furniture, we click on apply. So it's saying over the last 30 days, 11.5% of all users have visited pages where the URL contains furniture. Now you can do and, or you can choose or to either expand your audience, or if you use and, you're going to make your audience smaller. So you're basically saying if somebody visits a page that contains furniture in the URL and they also do something else, then include them in this audience. I could do page location contains furniture. I can do something like, and we'll scroll down here again to page and screen. I can say page title contains, and do the same exact thing. Furniture, we'll do uppercase in this case, and we'll click on apply. So you can do a bunch of these different things here and create an audience. So this didn't really expand it at all, but we can just say furniture audience, and maybe what I want to do is a 60-day membership duration. So people who are looking for furniture tend to look a little bit longer than a lot of other products because they are more expensive. So we have a furniture audience and we do 60 days. So we have anybody who visits a page that contains furniture. I can also do page location contains, specific types of furniture like sofas or chairs or tables. And I can choose all those different page locations to create the biggest possible furniture audience. And then we click on save. This is going to create a brand new audience on our account. And it's going to take about 24 hours, but this audience will automatically show up in our Google Ads account through our audience manager, just like some of these other ones have shown up here as well. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is, for example, I created this bathroom pages. So people who visited pages on my website that relate to bathroom decorations. So this is a 90-day audience. And what Google Ads automatically does is creates a similar segment. So similar to my bathroom pages 90-day audience. And you can see the size of this audience ranges from 17,000 to 1.2 million. So we can target this audience on the display network. We can target them with a Gmail campaign, and we can target them in our search campaigns and either increase or decrease bids based on this similar audience, where Google Ads is looking at all of these different data points from interests to demographics to locations of people in my bathroom pages audience and creates people who are very similar to them but haven't been to my website yet. So these are audiences, and you can create your own custom segments, which I will go through later on in the video. But to start, before we create a campaign, I like to set up Audience Manager. So I do this if I'm working with a new client who has never used Google Ads before. I first set up their Audience Manager, and I also set up their conversion tracking, because it doesn't make sense to me to run a campaign without having conversion tracking ready to go so we can optimize that campaign for the key performance indicators on their website. So once you've done both of these two things, you are ready to create a search campaign for your website. So we're going to come back to our Google Ads account, and you can see here it's going to tell us to create a new campaign. Now, one thing before I create a new campaign is I'm going to come back to the conversion screen, and I just want to set up my conversion action rather than other. What I want to do is take this conversion action, and we're going to edit the settings, and we're going to make it a lead. So we're going to come over here and we're going to put it into a lead category. So you're going to see under leads categories, there are a few different categories here. I'm going to choose outbound click. So outbound click is going to be an account default goal for me and a primary action used for bidding optimization. And we're going to click on save. Okay, so now we have our affiliate click tracking properly. We are using it as a lead category for outbound clicks. And we're ready to go back to the Google Ads homepage here. And now what we want to do is create a new search campaign. Now, before you create a new search campaign, you should have an idea of, okay, this is what I want to promote on my website, and this is what my goal is. So what I want to do is promote the shop pages on my website. I would like to promote basically every single product category I have. So you can see here, I have 257 items under all of my product categories. So what I like to do is target all of these different pages. I'm probably not going to do each and every single category because it doesn't really make sense to target specifically twin farmhouse duvet covers with this page when I can just target my farmhouse duvet covers page. And I will go over that more as I create my campaign. But before you get started, you need to have some idea in mind of, okay, my goal is to get people to come to one of these pages. So for example, I have my shop pages here. I want someone to come to my farmhouse bedding page, so we'll click on it. And I want people to either click on one of these product categories in shop or just scroll down and go through some of my different products here. And anytime someone clicks on learn more or goes to a product page and clicks on the learn more button, they are automatically going to be sent to Amazon. So if we click on learn more here, you can see the same exact product that is on my website is a product on Amazon. So I want people to come to my page and click on this learn more button, and that is what's being tracked as my affiliate click. So that is what my goal is for this campaign. Now, the other thing you want to keep in mind is what budget you want, and you really are best off setting a monthly budget. Because if you just say, hey, I want to spend $25 a day and see how well it performs, you're better off saying, I want to spend $2,000 this month, so we're going to set a daily budget, so I'm spending about $2,000 this month. And I will go over that as I'm creating this campaign. So let's come in and let's create a new search campaign. Okay, so we're going to click on the new campaign button here, and the first thing we need to do is choose our campaign objective. So in my case, I'm going to choose leads here for my campaign objective, and now it's going to say use these conversion goals to improve leads. So you can actually choose multiple conversion goals here, but I just have my one main conversion goal, outbound clicks. Now you're going to see here it's giving me an error message, and it's saying it's inactive or unverified. So once we start driving conversions, that little warning message will go away. So we just need to start driving conversions, and then it will be an active conversion action. So we can click on continue here, and this is where we choose our campaign type. So for this Google Ads tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a search campaign and a performance max campaign, because I think those are two good campaigns to get started with in terms of the overall performance you're going to see. Now, if you're running an e-commerce website, you should also run a shopping campaign as well. That's something I want to go over in future videos. I really want to stick to just search and performance max in this case. Now, I do have videos on my channel about display ads, discovery ads, and video ads as well. So you can find all these different campaign types by just searching my Google Ads playlist, which I will link in the video description. So we're going to click on search here, and it's going to say select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. And what we want to do is choose website visits. So we're trying to send traffic to our website, and we want to drive conversions just on our website for right now. You can see there's other options here as well, and that's something maybe I'll show in follow-up videos. So let's enter our website here, farmhousegoals.com, and let's name our campaign. So let's do Farmhouse Goals Google Ads Search Campaign, and we'll do 2022. Okay, and we'll click on continue. Next is going to be our budget and our bidding strategy. So your budget, if you look over here on the right-hand side, it's going to say for the month, you won't pay more than your daily budget times the average number of days in a month. The average number of days in a month is 30.4. So for example, if I set a $10 daily budget here, then what I'm going to spend is over the course of a month is most likely $304, somewhere around that number. So if I set it at $100 here, so you just take 100 times 30.4, and what we're going to have is we're going to spend about $3,040 per month. So that's kind of how you want to look at your budget. The best way to do it is to say, okay, I want to spend, and I used this number before, $2,000 this month. So if I want to spend $2,000 this month, all we need to do is basically open up the calculator app directly in Google, or open up the calculator app that you have. 2,000 divided by 30.4 equals, so our daily budget is going to be around $65 or $66. So let's just say I'll set it at $65, so then I'll spend a little bit below $2,000 over the course of a month. So that's kind of how you want to look at your daily budget. Look at it as a monthly budget. So next is going to be our bidding strategy, and since we're using conversion tracking and since we are optimizing this campaign for leads, what we want to do is focus on conversions. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I set my bidding strategy, but what you want to do here to get started is focus on conversions, and what you can do is set a target cost per action. So let's just say a conversion for your business is worth $50. Then what you want to do is have a target CPA below that number, because then you're driving optimal conversions. So if my target CPA is $100 and a conversion is worth $50, then that means for every conversion, I'm basically losing $50. So the best way to look at your target CPA is how can I drive valuable conversions for my business? In my case, if I can start at $2 here, because conversions for my business are not worth that much because they're all affiliate clicks, then what I can do is hopefully bring that target CPA down. But I am going to adjust this bidding strategy later on in the video after I publish the campaign, and I'm going to show you that as we go on with this video. So let's scroll down here, and let's come down here, and we're going to click on more settings. So the only setting here is ad rotation. I would recommend just to optimize your ads to prefer the best performing ads. So once we have all of this set, we're ready to move on to the next step. So the next step is going to be our campaign settings, and the first thing it's going to ask you is which networks do you want your ads to run on. When I'm running a search campaign, I just want my ads to run on the search network. So I want to run on the search network, and I want to include Google search partners. I would rather run separate Google display network campaigns than trying to run my search network campaigns on the display network. In my experience, I've never been able to find like it says here, the additional conversions at a similar or lower cost when I'm comparing a display network campaign with a search network campaign. So we're going to scroll down here, and next is going to be locations. So locations is you want to target everywhere your customers are located. In my case, I ship products to the United States and Canada, so I'm going to choose United States and Canada for locations. And then under location options, Under target, I like to just choose presence because it's going to automatically opt you into presence or interest. So that's going to include people in the location or people who have shown interest in your targeted locations. I want people in the location where I'm actually shipping products to. So for target, I like to choose presence here. And what you can do under location options is, let's just click on advanced search here. And let's say I want to target the Phoenix area. So if I search Phoenix, you're going to see some of these different options here. You can target Phoenix, Arizona, the city, and choose target here, or exclude. So you could also exclude locations as well. Phoenix, Arizona, the Nielsen DMA region. So it's a larger reach. It's going to be basically the entire Phoenix, Arizona market, and we can target that as well. And then as we come down here, you're going to see a bunch of different options here as well. And then locations that include Phoenix, Arizona. So the county, so we could target the county if we want to. Again, they have the Nielsen DMA region. We can target the entire state of Arizona, and then it's going to show United States, the country. So you can basically target wherever you want to. You can also choose a radius target, and let's just scroll in here. And you can see we have Phoenix, Arizona. We just scrolled in, so we can choose pin mode here and just click right on Phoenix, and that's going to target a 20-mile radius around Phoenix. And we can increase this number here as well, or you can enter a place name, address, but let's just say I want to do a 70-mile radius around Phoenix. We click right here on Phoenix, we target it, and we click on save. Now we have a 7-mile radius around Phoenix. Now in my case, I'm going to keep this as United States and Canada. Target, we're going to do just presence, and then exclude, we're going to keep presence as well. So that's going to be our location targeting. Next is going to be our language targeting, and you want to choose all the languages that your customers speak. So in my case, since I'm targeting Canada, it's saying I may want to target French as well. I'm just going to target English for this campaign, but you can always expand languages if your customers do speak multiple languages and your website is set up for customers who speak multiple languages. You want to make sure you're providing a good user experience no matter what languages your customers are speaking. So we have our language targeting set here. Next is going to be audience segments. So one of the things that you can do with search campaigns is actually target specific audiences in your search campaigns and choose to just observe the performance of those audiences, or bid higher on those audiences or bid lower on those audiences. So for example, if I come in here to browse, what I can do is, let's just come in here to how they have interacted with your business. I can say website visitors. So anybody who has visited my website, I want to see how that audience performs for the specific search campaign. So if I come in here to similar segments, I could do the same thing for anybody who's similar to all users. We can come back here. I can say, let's go to in-market, or we'll just come over here to search and let's just say home decor, since that's what we're selling. And we have the in-market segment for home decor. We have an in-market segment for living room. So we can choose all of these different audience segments and see how they perform for our campaigns. So if we come back here, we can do maybe some affinity audiences and maybe home and garden affinity audiences. And ultimately what we're looking for is, by observing how these different audience segments are performing, we can adjust the bids. Now, if you choose targeting here, that is going to limit the targeting for your search campaign just for the audience segments you select. I would not recommend doing that at all. So what you want to do is leave your campaign wide open and then observe specific audiences and see if you should bid higher or lower on some of these different audiences here. Okay, so now we can keep scrolling down here. So dynamic search ad settings. So for this specific campaign, I'm not going to be setting up dynamic search ads. I do have a video on my channel about how to use dynamic search ads and some best practices, so I would highly recommend watching that. You can incorporate dynamic search ads into your existing search campaigns. In this case, I'm just going to focus on targeting keywords, and maybe I'll go over this at the end of the video, but for right now, we're going to keep this. We're just not going to change any of our dynamic search ad settings. Now, if we come in here to more settings, we can set start and end dates. So if we want to start our campaign May 15th or June 1st, we can choose to do that, and we can end our campaign. If I say, okay, you know, at the end of summer, or let's just say the end of August, we want to end our campaign. So we can choose to end our campaign on a specific date as well. You can set ad schedules. I'm not going to be going over campaign URL options. Usually you don't need to change that for your campaign. For ad schedules, you can choose to run your campaigns when your company is open. Maybe it's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can choose ad schedules so that your campaign isn't running on weekends. So in my case, I'm going to choose all day because I just want to leave this wide open here as well. So we're going to click on next, and this will bring us to our keywords and our ads. Okay, so you can go through some of these different prompts they have when you set up your first campaign. It's helpful if you haven't set up a campaign before. In this case, I just want to focus on the tutorial here. So keywords and ads. So you need to have an idea of what landing pages you're sending traffic to so that you can understand the best keywords and advertisements to match those landing pages. So in my case, I'm going to be sending traffic to my product category pages. So it's pretty self-explanatory: farmhouse bedding, farmhouse baby bedding. If we just scroll down here and let's just say farmhouse Christmas decor, you kind of have an idea of all of these different pages, what types of keywords I would target for them. Now I'm going to go through a few of these different ad groups in this video. Obviously, I'm not going to set up 257 ad groups, but what you want to do is set up as many ad groups as you possibly can that would still drive relevant traffic to your website. So in my case, I would set up ad groups for basically all of these different product categories. Where I wouldn't is, for example, I have farmhouse comforters and comforter sets here, and then I have them broken down by different sizes of comforter sets. I wouldn't create a separate ad group for each of these different sizes. I would just kind of send all of my traffic to this landing page. So you want to really group together your landing pages when you have really relevant keywords like these ones are, but you also want to make sure that you're creating the most targeted user experience that you can. So when it comes to quilts, duvet covers, comforters, those are all going to be in separate ad groups for me. If we scroll down here and let's just come halfway down the page. So for example, farmhouse bar stools, I'm going to send these all in the same landing page. I'm not going to create a separate one for people who are searching for set of 4, bar stools with backs, swivel bar stools. So all of these are going to go into one ad group. And then as we come down here, benches will be in its own ad group. Farmhouse dining chairs will be in its own ad group. Farmhouse dining room sets will be in its own ad group. So you just really want to focus on creating the best possible user experience and the most organized search campaign you possibly can. So let's start with ad group 1. And for this one, we're going to do farmhouse bedding. Okay. Now what you want to do is it's going to say get keyword suggestions. You want to put your landing page here or search the products or services for this ad group. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to copy this link address and we're going to paste it right here to get keyword suggestions. And then what we're going to do is search farmhouse bedding and we're going to update keywords. It's going to say replace current keywords because it's basically giving me some broad farmhouse decor keywords, which I probably will end up targeting all of these different keywords here, but we want to replace this and focus on bedding. Okay, so now you're going to see these different keywords here: farmhouse bedding and farmhouse bedroom set. Now this is where you need to understand keyword search intent. If you're not sure what keyword search intent is for specific keywords, let's go to Google real quick. So if we come over here to Google, we search farmhouse bedding. What you want to do is see what comes up in the Google search results and what comes up in the advertising results. You can see when I search farmhouse bedding, pretty obviously, I'm getting farmhouse bedding sets for sale. Now, on the other hand, if I go to Google and I search for farmhouse bedroom set, you can see it's furniture. So I don't want to target the keyword farmhouse bedroom set in my farmhouse bedding ad group. This will be its own separate keyword in my farmhouse bedroom sets. And if we even come down here, farmhouse beds. So these two keywords refer to bedroom furniture or bed furniture, specifically in a bedroom. So people are looking for headboards, they might be looking for nightstands, they might be looking for bed frames. So I don't want to target these keywords in this ad group. Now, farmhouse comforter set, that is going to be targeted in its own ad group as well. So we're going to get rid of this one here as well. So now we have farmhouse bedding set. So we're going to come up here and we're going to take these two keywords and we're going to put some of these other ones down here. Now, the next thing I want to go over is keyword match types. So Google Ads is always going to tell you to target broad match keywords because they're going to say that's going to give you the most conversions at the best cost. In my experience, I like using phrase match keywords. So what we need to do is put quotes around our keyword so that it's a phrase match keyword. So phrase match keyword means that the search intent is going to be very, very close to what we're entering here. Exact match keywords is basically you're only going to be targeting some of these exact keywords here and very close variants. Now keep in mind, if I'm targeting farmhouse bedding and farmhouse bedding sets or farmhouse bedding set, I don't need to target misspellings. These will be included with misspellings. If someone goes to Google and types in farmhouse bedding set, it will still count for this keyword. And if somebody goes to Google and types in a plural, so they do farmhouse bedding sets, it will still be matched by this keyword here as well. So this keyword will match a lot of those different close variants such as misspellings, synonyms. So if somebody goes in and types in something like farmhouse king bedding set, then this keyword will still match for this search term. So what you want to do is take some of these keywords and I put quotes around them. The keywords that I'm targeting, I usually generally always put quotes around them, Broad match keywords, in my opinion, are good for very large budget advertisers who aren't worried about maybe spending some of their budget that might not lead to conversions, where you're getting some unrelated searches, but you're also making sure you're getting your daily volume every single day, and over time your campaign performance will improve. Phrase match keywords is good for most advertisers, in my opinion, because most advertisers don't have an unlimited budget, and you want to make sure that when people are typing in search terms, your keywords very closely match those search terms. So in this case, I have farmhouse bedding, I have farmhouse bedding set. Now, just from my own personal SEO keyword list, so if you have your own keyword list, I know that rustic and farmhouse are very close synonyms. So what I'm going to do is also target rustic bedding as a phrase match keyword. And then what you want to do is take some of these keywords down here that are going to be relevant for this specific ad group where we're sending traffic to this farmhouse bedding page, such as modern farmhouse bedding. So I'll target that keyword. I could do farmhouse bedding ideas here, so we'll target that keyword. Now keep in mind, farmhouse king bed, farmhouse king bedroom set, farmhouse style bedroom. All of those are not people who are actively looking up farmhouse bedding. They're either looking up furniture or they're looking up ideas. Now, I don't mind if somebody's looking up specifically farmhouse bedding ideas and then they can see all the products I have for sale. So I just want to make sure that I keep things as relevant as possible. Okay, so there's 3 here that I'll target. So farmhouse bedding king, shabby chic farmhouse bedding, farmhouse style bedding. Don't worry too much about having a limited amount of keywords in your ad group. If you enter keywords here that don't have a high enough search volume, then Google Ads will basically just tell you to delete those keywords because the search volume is too low. And if we have farmhouse bedding here, there's no downside to also targeting modern farmhouse bedding, shabby chic farmhouse bedding. It only makes sure that we're actually targeting all of these different search terms and we can see what performs best for our business. So let's enter all of these as phrase match keywords. This is a good keyword list for this specific ad group, and we're going to get rid of these other ones down here. Okay, so you can see here, I have my keyword list here. They're all phrase match keywords because I have quotes around all of them. You can see phrase match keywords have quotes around them. Broad match keywords are just entered as the keyword, and exact match keywords have brackets around them. So we have our phrase match keywords here, and we're going to scroll down. So now what we want to do is create our advertisement, and we're going to start with our landing page. So we're going to come up here and just copy this link right here. This is where we're sending traffic to, and we're going to paste this landing page. Now, display path, what we can do is just do farmhousegoals.com/bedding. So what that's going to do is it's going to put this bedding into our display URL. Now, headlines, they're going to give you some different headline ideas, and there also might have some headlines already filled out here. Now, these are not the headlines I want here, so I could take some of these different keywords here that we are targeting. So farmhouse style bedding. Okay, so I have a few different headlines I've added here. So farmhouse style bedding, shabby chic farmhouse bedding. So you can see some of these different variations. And then as we add more headlines, and you should just use every single headline they give you. So just keep clicking on the plus headline until you can't add any more. So we have our rustic bedding sets here. When we click here, they're going to keep giving us ideas. So you might as well just use some of these different ideas they have. You can enter your brand name because as you can see over here, we have basically some of these different headlines are going to be combined. So it might say farmhouse style bedding, farmhouse goals. It might say country bedding sets, farmhouse goals. So what you're looking for as you create these ads is up at the top, it's going to say add headlines, include popular keywords, make headlines unique, make descriptions unique. So you want to have these all filled out so that you fill out your ad strength all the way to great. Okay, so I've added all of my different headlines here, and what you might need to do is use some different headlines that might not have that much to do with bedding, or try to find other words within whatever it is that you're trying to promote. So in this case, using types of bedding, using different styles. So up at the top here, you can see my ad headlines. I have a check mark here. So basically Google Ads is saying I have enough headlines here. Make my headlines unique. I have a check mark here as well. So Google Ads again is saying my headlines are unique enough that the combinations they're going to create can use all of these different headlines. And what might end up happening is best farmhouse bedding 2022 is what drives the most conversions. And that's the type of ad that Google Ad is going to continue to serve. So we're going to keep scrolling down here saying try including more keywords in your descriptions. Well, I haven't really written my descriptions yet, so we're going to use all 4 of our description lines. So we'll click on the plus sign here. Now again, I'm going to fast forward through this a little bit. I'll write out the first description line, but a lot of times with the first description line, I try to just use something pretty generic like shop the top rated Okay, so I've shopped the top rated farmhouse style bedding, best prices on comforters, quilts, and more. So what you want to do is use your description lines to basically use some different selling points for whatever it is you're selling, whether it's price, whether it's you have the best products, you have the best selection of products. So I'm going to enter my description lines here and kind of fast forward through this a little bit. Okay, so we have our 4 descriptions here as well. So I have kind of just different sizes and styles. So shabby chic, modern, rustic, and vintage sets, farmhouse themed comforter sets, quilts, bedding, and more. So I try to use a bunch of different keywords, a bunch of different selling points. Ultimately, with your ad copy, you want to try to sell whatever it is that your best selling point is as soon as possible in the headline and the description lines. So for me, my best selling point is I have a huge selection, all sizes, all styles, all prices. So you're basically not stuck into just one option. You basically have this huge selection. So no matter what you want, people should be able to find it on my website. Now my ad strength right now is good. And the one thing it's telling me is try including more keywords in my headlines. So I'm going to come back to my headlines here and try to use all these keywords. So instead of upgrade your bedroom, let's try farmhouse bedding ideas. And let's see what it says. Okay, so I have all of my headlines here. I have my description lines. I have some unique headlines. It's still giving me ad strength good. It's saying try adding a few more unique headlines or unpinning some assets. I don't have any assets pinned. So what you could do is I can pin this asset to say, I want this to only show in position 1. I usually don't pin assets. Sometimes you want to do it if you're running a promotion. So if you have a 10% off sale or you're running a free shipping promotion, you might want to put that in the first line just so people see it right away. But in this case, I'm going to keep my ad as it is. My ad strength is good right now. I can try to keep playing around with some of these different headlines here, but ultimately I don't think if the ad strength is good or great, I'm going to see much of a difference for this specific ad group. So I'm going to click on done now, and we have our advertisement created. Okay, so now in our ad group, so you can see our ad group is farmhouse bedding. We have our landing page, we have our keywords here, we have our ad created. You want to run multiple advertisements for basically a best practice. Now, because they have responsive search ads, you don't really need to run a ton of different advertisements. But what I'm going to show you in a few steps is how to duplicate an advertisement and test different landing pages. So for right now, what we can do is create another ad group or click on next. Since I'm going to be creating a lot of new ad groups when I launch this campaign, what I'm going to do is click on next. Now, when I'm generally setting up a campaign, I would create a lot of different ad groups to start it with. But what you can do is take what we have right now, we click on next, and now it's going to bring us to our extensions. So extensions are additional information about your advertisements and additional information about your business. So if we come over here to farmhouse bedding, this advertisement right here, these are site link extensions. So there are different links in our advertisements. So for example, for farmhouse bedding, what I can do with some of these different site links is do things like farmhouse comforter sets, enter our description lines, and a final URL. For site link 2, farmhouse quilts, and then when people see my advertisement, they're going to see farmhouse bedding, and then they'll see some of these different options here as well. So that allows people to click on exactly what they're looking for. So somebody who maybe types in farmhouse bedding sets, and let's just say I do farmhouse crib bedding, they might say, oh, well, let me check on the crib bedding sets as well as the quilts, and now you might be able to sell them on something else on your website. You can also just use campaign level site link extensions. So what I can do is something like farmhouse furniture, I can do farmhouse area rugs, so they're not going to be as relevant. So what you really want to do is focus on these ad group level site link extensions, and you're going to see it's going to say add at least 2 site link extensions here. So I'm going to create some different site link extensions, and we're going to kind of fast forward to this part. I'm going to go through kind of the idea that I have when I'm creating them. Okay, so we have farmhouse comforter sets, I have my description lines here, and then I have my final URL, and I'm sending that directly to the farmhouse comforters page. The best farmhouse bedding, I'm using the same exact landing page, but just have a description line. We put together the best 2022 farmhouse style bedding sets. Crib bedding, same thing, upgrade your nursery, and we have our crib and nursery bedding sets page. Same with farmhouse quilts, and same with farmhouse duvet covers. So it allows you to create some of these additional links on your advertisement so you can kind of direct traffic to where people want to go. So now we can click on save, and now we have these site link extensions added to the ad group level. So you can also use site link extensions at the campaign level. So if we create a new one, what I can do is farmhouse furniture, I can do farmhouse goals homepage, I can do farmhouse shop, So I can enter some of these different site links here. So for right now, I'm just going to keep these 5 here and it's saying select and create campaign level site link extensions. So after we publish this campaign, I'm going to show you how to put these at the ad group level and then how to put some at the campaign level. So we're going to come down here to more extensions. Now, just to go over each extension pretty quickly, call out extensions adds more business information to your ad. This is great for promotions or any selling points that you have. Fast shipping, free shipping, best 24/7 customer service, call us today. So call out text is really good for just what your basic selling points are. Do you have the best prices? Do you have the best service? Do you have a combination of both? Do you have high quality products? Do you have unique products? So you want to use call out extensions here that are going to make people click on your advertisement and purchase from you. So in my case, let's just do fast and free shipping, no hassle returns, top rated products, and we'll do shop now and save. So we have 4 different call out extensions, basically helping people kind of get rid of some of those pain points that they might expect from a business. So fast and free shipping, no hassle returns, top rated products, shop now and save. And we can click on save and now we have some campaign level call out extensions. So we're going to scroll down here and we have call extensions. And with this, you can add a phone number to your advertisement. In my case, I'm not going to be adding a phone number here, but all you need to do is add your phone number and then you can choose to turn on call reporting. And you can actually create a conversion action for calls from advertisements. I'm not going to go through that right now in this video, but that's an option that you have. And if you're a business that is expecting phone calls basically to drive leads or sales for your business, you definitely want to add your call extension here. Now, app extension, if you have a mobile app, you can actually connect it to your Google Ads account, and then you can add an app extension to your ad. So when people are searching on a mobile device, so for example, if I'm searching for travel and I see TripAdvisor, they can put an app extension on their advertisement and then I can go directly to the TripAdvisor app. Next are going to be structured snippets, and these allow you to just add additional information to your advertisements by using one of the built-in headers. So when you see here the header, you can choose your language and then select header type. You can see some of the different options here. So amenities, brands, courses, degree programs. So this can work for a lot of different businesses, whether you have different types of insurance that you're offering, different models of vehicles, or different types of products. Now in my case, what I could do is things like types or styles. So under types, what I can do is something like for bedding, I can say comforters, quilts, sheets, and we could just add some of these different types of bedding that people are going to purchase. So you can add those to your advertisements, and it's going to give people the idea that, okay, you have comforters, quilts, sheets, crib bedding. So just making sure people understand that we have every different type that they can even think of when it comes to bedding. Now, if we scroll down here, we could also do styles and do some of the different styles as well. So there's a lot of different structured snippets that you can use. So we'll click on save for now. Okay, and you can add multiple structured snippet extensions. So you just want to click here to create a new one if you want to create more structured snippet extensions on your advertisements. Now, if we click on more extensions, a couple other options, lead form extensions. So you can actually add a form to your advertisement so people can contact you directly through a form on your Google ad. So for example, if I'm running advertisement to try to get new marketing clients, I can tell people contact me today directly through my lead form extension. Price extension, you can add prices to your advertisements. So if you have fixed prices on certain products or services, for example, let's just say you're selling different type of courses on your website, whether they're marketing courses or any other subject, and let's say every single course is $200. Then you can put your header here for the price extension and $200. So some different ways that you can add more information to your advertisement. Last but not least, you can do promotion extensions, and you can add a specific promotion to your advertisement. So just under here for occasion, so you can see all the different occasions that a bunch of companies usually run a lot of different promotions, whether it's Black Friday, back to school. So you can take advantage of those through your Google Ads, through your structured snippet extensions. So you don't need to use every single one, but every single one that's relevant for your advertisement you should use, because it's only going to help increase performance. So once you have all of your extensions set up, we're ready to click on next. Okay, so now we want to review our campaign. We still have a lot more work to do for this campaign. We only created one ad group. So based on the product categories I still have at least 100 different ad groups that I still need to create. Obviously, I'm not going to create every single one throughout this video. I'm trying to give you a good process so that you can copy this process for your own business. So reviewing our campaign name is Farmhouse Goals. Google Ads search campaign. Search campaign, our objective is lead and our goal is outbound clicks. So that's what our conversion goal is. We have a budget set of $65 per day. I'm going to adjust the bidding strategy in the next step. I'm going to show you usually how I set up my bidding strategy for new campaigns. So networks, we're just on the Google search network and search partners. We have our location targeting, our language targeting. We're observing some different audiences to see how they perform. So we'll keep scrolling down here. Keywords and ads, we only have 8 keywords and 1 ad right now. And then we have our site link extensions, call out extensions, and structured snippet extensions all set up. So let's publish our campaign. Okay, so our campaign is all set up. Now keep in mind, I haven't set up my billing information yet. So if you haven't set up your billing information, your advertisements will not run. Once you set up your billing information, you're going to start getting impressions. Depending on whatever it is that you're targeting, whatever keywords you're targeting, you're going to start getting impressions and clicks, and you'll be charged as soon as you start driving clicks on your advertisements. So we're going to hide this message for now. If it keeps giving it to me, I will set up my billing information on this account. Now, one thing you might want to do is if you're setting up an account the way that I did, my budget right now is $65 per day, and it's all going to go directly into that one ad group. So what we could do is lower our budget temporarily just down to $5 or $10 a day, just so we don't spend the full $65 on this one ad group as we start to test our ads. So after I launch a campaign, in the settings here, we're going to come over and we're going to look at our campaign settings. And what we're going to see is if we click on our campaign, so we're looking at our campaign settings for the campaign that we just published. And our bidding strategy down here is maximize conversions, target CPA. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here to tools and settings, and under tools and settings, under shared library, you're going to see bid strategies. So I'm going to create a new portfolio bid strategy and apply it to this campaign. So we're going to click on the plus sign. Our new portfolio strategy, in this case, is going to be target CPA. Now keep in mind, if you're tracking revenue, then you can use target return on ad spend, and Google Ads will actually optimize for the revenue that you're driving. So this is great for e-commerce websites because if you're selling products that range in price from, anywhere from $5 to hundreds of dollars, Google Ads can actually tell how large your orders are. So if you drive an order, let's say for $200, then Google Ads can continue to try to optimize your campaign for revenue rather than just conversions. So target CPA is much better when you're just driving leads or when every single one of your conversions has the same value. Target return on ad spend is better when you have dynamic values, when you have different revenues coming in for your conversions. So when every single sale is a different value, you want to use target return on ad spend. Now you can also use maximize clicks, maximize conversions, or maximize conversion value as well. Obviously conversion value would fit better with target return on ad spend. Maximize conversions would fit better with target CPA. So in this case, I'm going to be using target CPA. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to do search campaign bid strategy. And then what we're going to do is select my campaign here. So the campaign we just created, we're going to select it and we're going to apply this bid strategy to this campaign. And we're going to click on done. We're going to keep our target CPA the same. So you're going to see create a shared budget. We're not going to be doing that for this. So we have our target CPA of $2. And then if we click on advanced options, this is what I like here is you can set minimum and maximum bid limits. So I like to set maximum bid limits on new campaigns because what ends up happening is as we're going through the testing process, Google Ads is not setting maximum bid limits for us. So we might be bidding $1, $2, $3, up to $5, $10 on some of these different keywords when we might want to start our campaign by keeping our bids as low as possible. So if I'm trying to drive target CPA of $2, then it doesn't make sense for me to be bidding $1.25 because that means that I need to drive a ton of conversions and have a huge conversion rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my maximum bid limit for right now at 50 cents. So that means my cost per click will start at less than 50 cents. And we can always increase or decrease this over time. And what you want to do with your bid limit is look at your daily budget and your spend. Because if you're consistently reaching your spend every day, and I shouldn't have an issue reaching my spend once I start creating more ad groups in my campaign, then what we can do is click on save here, and we can always decrease or increase our maximum bid limit later. So if we come back over to our Google Ads account, we should have through our campaign, we're going to come in here to settings, and you can see under bidding here, we have our search campaign bid strategy. So our target CPA is $2, and we have that maximum bid limit set. So that's how I like to set up my bid strategy for new campaigns because it helps me control costs. So now what I want to do is come back here and I want to adjust my ad extensions really quick because I set up campaign level ad extensions that would work much better at the ad group level. Okay, from the extensions page here, you can see we have site link. If we scroll down, we have call out and we have structured snippets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to site links. We're going to select all of these different site links that I created. And I'm going to click on add to, and I'm going to add them to my ad group. So we're going to add them to the farmhouse bedding ad group and click on done. And we're going to add all of these site link extensions to the ad group level of all of my bedding themed ad groups. So anytime that I'm bidding on comforter sets or bedding sets or crib bedding, all those different keywords, I'm going to have these set at the ad group level. And then what we can also do for now is we have these 5 selected. We can also just pause these different ad extensions as well. If we just come up here and click on pause. So now we're pausing these ones at the campaign level, and now they're still running at the ad group level. So what we want to do is I want to create some different site link extensions that are going to run at the campaign level. So we would click on the plus sign and we're going to go through this process again, adding them to our campaign. You can see once you come in here to create new site links, it's very easy to add them to either your entire account. I generally don't do that, or just to your specific campaign, or last but not least, to specific ad groups. So once we have our different ad groups created, we can set up all of our site link extensions. So with campaign level, what I want to do is just use some different links to my shop, to my furniture pages, to some of the large pages on my website, the most popular pages, and then different pages that will help me drive more conversions as well. So I'm going to set up my campaign level site link extensions now. Okay, so I've just submitted my new site links, and you can see I have shop farmhouse goals, I did furniture, bedding, decor, lighting, and I did a couple more as well. So just kind of some basic broad site link extensions. So when people are searching for different keywords, if my ad group level extensions aren't relevant enough, Google Ads will pull from my campaign. So now what we want to do is I'm going to show you a couple more things here with our search campaign. Is we want to come into our farmhouse bedding search campaign, and you can see our keywords that we're targeting. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to ads and extensions. So because we have these responsive search ads with so many different headlines, description lines, we don't really need to create multiple advertisements in every single ad group. It used to be that you'd run 2-3 advertisements in every ad group and just kind of test them against each other. But what we can do is just take this initial ad that we already have, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it. So we're going to copy and paste this advertisement. And we're going to paste one new ad into our ad group, and we need to make sure we check if ad already exists in destination to create a duplicate. So let's click on paste. Okay, and our new one is going to be in bold right here. So all we need to do is click on edit for the new ad and just update our final URL. So that's a good way to test landing pages. So because I have different landing pages that work for this advertisement, what I can do is see which one is going to perform better, which one is going to drive more optimal conversions. And the only thing different about the ads is the final URL. So it'll test everything will be exactly the same except for the landing page where we're sending traffic to. So that will allow Google Ads to kind of rotate those ads and then continue to serve whichever ad is driving more conversions for us. So now we have 2 advertisements in this ad group. So what we're ready to do is create more ad groups. So we're going to come over to our search campaign again, click on ad groups, and click on the plus sign to create a new ad group. Okay, so we're going to set up an ad group, and we're going to use a standard ad group. Again, you can use dynamic ad groups within your existing campaign, so you don't need to create separate campaigns with standard and dynamic ad groups. Dynamic ad groups can actually help you find more traffic because it's going to give you more keywords that you're targeting. So it's going to use the words basically on your page, your ad copy, all the information on your page to target your ads when you're using dynamic ad groups. So with standard, let's create a new ad group, and instead of doing something again with bedding, let's go to our area rugs. So we're going to take our farmhouse rugs and farmhouse area rugs. We're going to copy this page, and what we're going to do is name our ad group, so farmhouse area rugs. And what you want to do is rinse and repeat this process over and over and over again. So for keywords, we can enter our landing page URL. We could just click on get keywords, but a lot of times I'll just come in here and click on search farmhouse rugs, the main keyword that I'm targeting with this page. And now you can see if we scroll down here, there's a bunch of very relevant keywords we can target. So we can do farmhouse rugs, farmhouse area rugs, kitchen rugs. Now what can be very helpful too as you're building these campaigns is if I come in here and I have my farmhouse rugs category, you can see I have it broken down by different sizes, and then I have one that's just modern. So one with one style, but there's a bunch of different keywords here as well. So farmhouse runner rugs, farmhouse rugs for living room, farmhouse kitchen rugs. So what I want to do is take those different categories and make sure I note them down, because I can add those categories to my website, and it's only going to help my performance through Google Ads, and it's only going to help me drive more traffic through organic search traffic as well if I'm targeting all of these more long tail keywords. Because when someone goes to Google and they're looking specifically for farmhouse bathroom rugs, farmhouse runner rugs, farmhouse rugs with a separate size, it's going to help me to have a page full of different products that are highly relevant to that search term. So as you're building that campaign, keep that in mind, because you can easily find new SEO keywords as well, and it's going to help you create more and more pages on your website that will only help you rank well through organic search and help your Google Ads campaigns. So let's continue to use these phrase match keywords. We're going to keep putting quotes around our keywords that we're targeting. And now you're going to see down here, your campaign is using smart bidding. Use broad match to get more conversions at a similar or better ROI. So that's something you can test. I would highly recommend just starting with phrase match keywords, and you can always open up to broad match keywords as you start seeing how your performance is. So if you're happy with your performance, then what you can do is start incorporating some broad match keywords as well, or just update your match type. So instead of having a phrase match keyword, just use the broad match variation. You don't need to use multiple keyword match types in the same ad group. I would highly recommend just choosing one match type. I personally like to use phrase and just sticking with that match type for each keyword in the ad group. But you can still use broad match or phrase match or exact match. Just don't mix and match all of them. You don't need to add something like farmhouse rugs in every single match type. Just choose one match type. Now for right now, I'm going to use a bunch of these different keywords here, so I'm going to kind of fast forward through this part and just keep putting quotes around these relevant keywords. Okay, so we have all of our keywords added here. This should help us basically reach for every single relevant search about farmhouse rugs, and we're going to be able to serve a relevant ad and drive people to a landing page that is just going to have a list of these different product categories and our top products for sale. So let's come down here and we're going to click on Save and Continue. So when you're setting up your ad group, you need to name it, you need to choose the keywords that you're targeting here, and then all you need to do is create your advertisement. Now make sure when you're setting up your final URLs, you're always sending traffic to the right landing page. So we're going to start here, copy our link address, and we're going to paste this here. And then we just have to go through and update all of these different options here for our headlines and our display path. So we can make this really easy by just basically changing bedding to area rugs. So everywhere that there's bedding or comforters, we can use area rugs or runners, and just try to use some of these different ad copy options that we have to create good or great ads. So might have to adjust these a little bit. I'm going to fast forward to this part a little bit just because I'm just going to be updating bedding to rugs. Okay, fast forwarding a bit, we have our final URL set, we have our display path set. If we come down here, we have 15 different headlines, and they all are geared around area rugs instead of bedding. So we're going to keep scrolling down, kind of just updated a little bit of our ad copy here. And if we come to our descriptions, again, the same exact thing, all geared towards rugs, runners, outdoor rugs. Our ad strength is good. As long as you have a good ad strength, you really shouldn't have much of a difference in performance between good and great. So we have our description lines. So all we need to do now is click on Done. And then what we can do is add more site link extensions to the ad group level for our area rug ad groups. So what I can do is take some of these different options here. So for example, 8x10 is a very popular size for area rugs. So I could do 8x10, I could do modern farmhouse area rugs. I do have a category on my website for bathroom rugs. So we can just kind of incorporate some of those different options, and it's just going to make your advertisement more relevant to each individual search. So that's ultimately what your goal is to use extensions to make sure that each ad group is serving up the most relevant ad possible. So we have our ad created here. So all we need to do is click on Save and Continue, and now we have our 2 ad groups created. So what you want to do is rinse and repeat this process that I just showed you for every single relevant page on your website. The way to think about ad groups is where are you sending traffic, what are the best keywords that describe that page, and what are keywords that people are going to type in so that you can sell them your products or services that are listed on that page. So pretty self-explanatory, farmhouse area rugs. If we click on it, you can see the keywords that we're targeting, all relevant towards farmhouse rugs, rustic rugs, so some of the different keywords that people are typing in. And our ad is all geared towards area rugs, and we're sending people to a landing page that's going to match what they're searching. So that's the goal for a Google Ads search campaign. You want to start with your conversion tracking. You want to use the smart bidding option so that you're driving conversions at the lowest possible cost. And then you want to create ad groups for every single relevant landing page on your website that will help you drive conversions and ultimately revenue for your business. So all I need to do now is continue to create these ad groups. And what I'm probably going to do is create a separate video of me just building this entire search campaign from scratch. So I'm going to start it from the beginning. I'm going to build a huge search campaign. It's going to be a very long video, but for anybody who wants to watch me build one from scratch, that's going to be how I'm going to do that video. In this case, I just want to give you kind of the steps to get started with your campaign and the process that I use to basically give myself the best chance at success for a Google Ads campaign. So we have our search campaign running, and all we need to do is wait for everything to be approved. It should run pretty quickly, so we shouldn't really have any issues at all with our campaign running. So what we want to do next is I want to create a Performance Max campaign. So the two campaigns I would highly recommend getting started with are search campaigns and Performance Max campaigns. So we're going to click on New Campaign here. We're going to choose the same exact objective. We have the same exact conversion goal here. We're going to click on Continue, and then instead of choosing Search, we're going to choose Performance Max. Now keep in mind, you can also run a display campaign, a discovery campaign, a video campaign. If you have an e-commerce website, you can run a shopping campaign. So you can run all of these together and see what is giving you the best performance. But keep in mind, things like discovery, display, and video, a lot of times are going to be much more for building more brand awareness and building more awareness around your products and services. You can still drive a lot of conversions, especially with video. So video can work really well for some advertisers. But I've seen great performance with Performance Max across a lot of different advertisers that I've worked with and for my own campaigns. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Performance Max and we're going to name our campaign. Okay, so we'll do Farmhouse Goals Performance Max 2022 and we'll click on Continue. So the setup process for this is going to be pretty similar, but we're going to have a different thing when it comes to targeting and building our advertisements. So we're going to start with our budget. So let's just say I want to spend $65 per day for this campaign too. And what we can do is adjust our budget over time depending on what's giving us the best performance. So what we want to focus on is conversions. So we're going to choose conversions and we're going to set a target cost per action. But what I'm going to eventually do is use the same exact bid strategy for this campaign as my search campaign. You can use multiple bid strategies. So if you want to create a separate bid strategy. So depending on the performance that I'm seeing, I'm going to try to use my bid strategies to really drive the most conversions at the lowest cost. I mean, if I'm spending, let's just say $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, I want to drive as many conversions as possible as I can for that budget because that means more revenue for my business. So we want to focus on conversions. We'll set the same exact target CPA. And what we can do is we can adjust this as we see what our performance is. So we're going to click on Next. So you want to enter your location and language targeting here. Not much changes really for my website here for this different campaign. Final URL expansion, you want to make sure you send traffic to the most relevant URLs on your website, and you want to keep final URL expansion on at all times. You can exclude specific URLs. Now the other option is to only send traffic to the URLs you provided. The way Performance Max works is they're going to try to send traffic to the best landing pages for whoever is clicking on your advertisement. So I'm not going to adjust final URL expansion at all. We're going to keep this checked. I'm not going to exclude any URLs, so we are ready to click on More Settings. And again, you can set an ad schedule for your Performance Max campaign. You can set start and end date, so if you're running it for a specific promotion, and you can set campaign URL options as well. We're ready to click on Next. And what's different about Performance Max is we create asset groups. So you can see here, show high quality ads to the right people. Start by adding your assets, the building blocks of every ad. Google will test different combinations to create high-performing ads across formats and networks that work best for your goals and audiences you want to reach. So if you're not familiar with Performance Max at all, you can see here your ad is going to run across YouTube, Gmail, Search, Display, and Discover. So your ad is going to run across all of Google's different channels, and you're basically just giving Google Ads a ton of assets that you can use to create the advertisements that are going to send traffic to your website, and then we're going to set up targeting in the next set. So basically what you want to do is try to pick out targeting that matches your assets and make sure that your final URL that you're setting here matches your assets as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to send traffic to this page that I set up, 52 beautiful farmhouse decorations you will love. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to start with this as our final URL. So we're going to copy it. We're going to come over here and add this as our final URL. Since we have URL expansion on, it's still going to send traffic to other pages on our website. So the next thing we need to do is add up to 15 images for this asset group. Now keep in mind, we can run multiple asset groups. So what I'm going to do is for this is do farmhouse decorations. We're going to scroll down and let's add our images. So when it comes to your images, let's scroll over here first. So the image guidelines, there's 3 different sizes. So optional is a portrait image, 4x5. The recommended size is 960 by 1200. For square images, 1x1, the recommended size is 1200 by 1200, and then there's landscape images, which are 1200 by 628. So you want to upload your images here. You can also scan your website as well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on upload, and I'm going to be using a lot of the different images that are already on this page, so that when people come here, they see the images that were in the advertisements. So we're going to come over here, we're going to upload my assets. Okay, so my assets are uploading, and you can see they're all selected with 1 ratio, so a lot of them are just going to be using square images. So what we can do is, instead of using square images for all of them, if we click on an individual asset, we can choose some of these other sizes as well. So this one is not a big enough image, so it only lets us use square. So we'll come back to results, and we'll find some. So if we click on this one here, again, same thing. So we want to make sure we're using large images. So with this one, we can select 1x9 by 1. It doesn't fit that well. So you want to find images where it fits well. There we go. This one will be a little bit better. 1x9 by 1, and we can do a 4x5, and this fits for all 3 ratios. So all you want to do is click on these different images and then select the dimensions that work best for the image that you have. So for something like this, what I can do is just use the 1x9 by 1, get rid of the square, and use the 4x5 as well. So we have 2 ratios there. Right now we already have 15 selected assets. So what I can do is go through this and make sure I have enough 1.91 by 1 images here. You don't just want to have 1 or 2, so we're going to upload more assets again. Okay, so we should have better pictures now. So with this one, I can use 3 different ratios here, so we'll select the 3 ratios. So what you want to do is upload your assets and just basically find the right images that work best for your ad. So we have 3 ratios there. So we have 12 selected assets now. So you just want to click on some of these different options and make sure that you have enough of these different sizes. So this one will work for landscape and square. I'm not going to use this image. I'm not going to use this image. So we'll scroll up and use some of these images up here. Okay, so we have our images selected. We have 12. Let's get a couple more. Okay, so we have our 15 selected assets now, so we can click on save. Okay, so you want to use all of your assets that you can. So we have our 15 images. Next, we want to add up to 5 logos. You really just want to use at least 2 logos. So there's 2 different logo sizes. There's a square and there's a landscape logo. The square is recommended, and you absolutely have to use the square logo. The landscape logo is optional. So we're going to upload some logos. Okay, so I have my logos uploaded. So this one actually didn't fit right. So I have my square logo here, so 1x1. And then if we come back over here, I have my 4x1 logo here as well. So both logos look good. So we have 2 logos, 1 in each size. You can use different logos, different colors. So if you have a variety of logos that you use, you can add all 5 if you want. Next is going to be videos. So you want to use videos, you want to upload them to your YouTube channel, and then just search them, the specific YouTube URL here, and you want to use those videos for this campaign as well. If you don't have videos, Google Ads is automatically going to generate them when possible. You are much better off creating your own videos or even paying to have them created. It's definitely going to be better for your overall asset group. So I'm going to upload my videos now. Okay, so we're going to click to add our videos. Now, my videos are more geared towards farmhouse furniture, so they're probably better videos for the next asset group I create, because I'm going to do one for farmhouse furniture as well. But just to show you how to use some of these different videos. Now, what you want to do is create videos for each individual asset group. Now, for this, I'm just going to select some of these different videos here. So we're going to do all 3 of the videos I have, and we're going to select all 3 of them. So just come in here, just copy the link address, and then go over, paste it right here when you're searching YouTube, and we'll click on this one as well. And now we have 3 different videos here, 20 seconds, 31 seconds, 26 seconds. So just some different videos, so we'll click on save. Next we want to do is use our headlines here. We can add up to 5 headlines. If we keep coming down here, we can add 1 long headline. Obviously, you want to use all of the descriptions, the headlines that they give you, and use as many characters as possible. So a lot of times I start from the bottom to the top. Call to action is going to be shop now for me. So we're going to scroll down and use shop now. Business name is going to be farmhouse goals. Under more options here, you can see we can set a display path. I'm not going to do that for this one. So if we start scrolling up, we're going to enter our short description, our different description lines here as well, and then our headlines. Okay, so we have our 5 headlines here. So I have 52 best farmhouse decorations, shop our farmhouse decor, shop farmhouse goals, and then just some different styles as well. So now we're going to use our long headlines. So I'm going to enter my long headlines here. And again, if you go over the question marks here, it's going to give you a lot more information as well. So if you're looking for some more information, just scroll over this little question mark and that will give you more information. So I'm going to enter my long headlines and my description lines. Okay, so we have our 5 long headlines here. Now, keep in mind, since these are long headlines, you don't really want to use punctuation at the end of them. Just keep them open. So if you do have punctuation at the end, just get rid of it because you don't need punctuation for any of this. So even where I have an exclamation point here, we're just going to turn that into a hyphen. So we have our 5 long headlines. Now let's enter our description lines. Okay, we have our description lines here. So we have a 160 character description line and the other 4 are 90 character descriptions. So if we keep coming down here, we have our call to action, we have our business name. So what you can do is click on this and see what your ad looks like through some of these different channels. So if you like the way your ad is looking everywhere, then you're ready to launch this asset group. The only thing that we need to do is set an audience signal. So what you want to do with an audience signal, it's going to help you reach the right audiences faster. Performance Max will use it as a starting point to find new conversions across Google. So if we create an audience signal, the way to look at this is to say, if I'm using my data, for example, and we come to browse and I do all users of farmhouse goals, I do my farmhouse decor audience, basically I could just use these 2 custom segments here and Google Ads is going to say, okay, everyone who has visited this page, everyone who has visited the farmhouse decorations page, they fit into this profile of people who are interested in buying decorations, furniture, whatever it might be. So basically what I'm doing is I'm telling Google Ads, these are the people that I think are going to be most likely to convert, target them and target people who are very similar to them. So we can also come in here to my data and if we come to browse, I can choose some of these other options here. So recently active users, first visit. I can also come down here to interest and detailed demographics. And I can say, okay, if I come to browse, we go to in-market segments, I can try to find a home and garden in-market segment. Or what I can do is just come in here and it's going to give me some suggestions and recent selections. So I can use home decor here. So we'll use home decor. If I come to browse again, so if we collapse the in-market segments, I can come to life events and I can say, hey, someone's going through a home renovation. Let's target them as well. So we're targeting some of these different audiences here. And what we're doing is we're basically just trying to reach who will be ready to purchase from us, who is going to be the most likely to purchase. Now, the other thing you want to do is set up a custom segment. And what I like to do is name my segment. Let's just do farmhouse decor search terms. And what we're doing is we're targeting people who search for any of these terms on Google. So what I can do is add some Google search terms like farmhouse decor. We can do rustic decor. A lot of times they're going to give us some different ideas. So as you start entering things, so rustic farmhouse wall decor. So just keep adding all of these that are relevant for your business and even just entering some of these keywords, and maybe we'll do some things more specific. So farmhouse decorations, we can do things like farmhouse furniture. And we'll add a few more here. So we'll do farmhouse bedding, farmhouse area rugs. So people who are searching all of these different keywords are going to be highly relevant in the products that I have on my website. You can see weekly impressions is already 1 billion to 5 billion. So there's plenty of search volume there, even just adding this many keywords. Sometimes what I'll do is I will just enter my SEO keyword list, copy all the search terms and just paste them here. You can do that by creating a file in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, putting all your keyword lists there, copy it and just paste it and it will enter all of them just like this. So you can also expand this segment by including people who browse types of websites or people who use types of apps. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on save, and now we have our custom segment, we have our data here, and we have some in-market audiences. So what Google Ads is going to do is use this audience signal. So we're going to say farmhouse decorations audience signal. And they're going to continue to serve to these people and people who are similar to them to try to find people who are going to be most likely to convert. You can also use demographics as well. So if you know people are going to be more likely to convert if, let's just say for farmhouse decor, if they're 25 and up. So we'll click on save. And now we have everything set that we're ready to click on next. And we can also add extensions to Performance Max. So you can see all the same extensions here. So if I just come to site link extensions, I can use some of the ones that I set at the campaign level. So we can do, let's say, best farmhouse bedding. We'll scroll down here, shop farmhouse goals, furniture. We'll do decor, lighting. So some of the different things people are looking for. So we have our site link extensions here. Do the same thing with callout extensions. So we'll select all 4 of our callout extensions. And I don't have a call extension, but we'll do structured snippets. And we'll choose, well, let's create a new structured snippet. We will do styles, rustic, farmhouse, shabby chic, antique, and modern. Okay, so some popular farmhouse styles. We'll click on save. And we have our structured snippet now. We have our callout, our site link extensions. We're ready to click on next. And we're ready to review our campaign. So we're not getting any errors. If you see this over here for an asset group, we can always go back and fix it after we launch our campaign. A lot of times when you click on this, it doesn't even show you the error. So for right now, we're ready to publish our campaign. We have a Performance Max. Our goal is outbound clicks. We're maximizing conversions right now, but let's publish this campaign. Now again, we just built one asset group and one audience signal. So what we can do is we can come over here to asset groups and click on the plus sign and create another asset group. So instead of farmhouse decorations, I can do a new asset group and gear it all towards farmhouse furniture. I can use some of these furniture videos I have on my YouTube channel and just focus on that. I can create another asset group for, let's say, for example, somebody who's looking for farmhouse bedding or farmhouse area rugs or any of these different options that we have, lighting. And then what you want to do is set up your audience signal for whatever it is you're promoting. So I can use an in-market audience for people looking up furniture. I can use my data for people who are going to furniture pages on my website. Google Ads will use all of that to serve our advertisements across all of these different Google channels and hopefully drive us a lot of conversions. I've seen a lot of great success with Performance Max, so you definitely want to try it out and see how you're performing. Okay, so coming back in here to our all campaign screen, I'm just going to keep my Performance Max bid strategy what it is. So under settings, we have target CPA and we have it run for $2. So what we want to do is bring that target CPA down. But for right now, what we're ready to do is run these 2 campaigns, see how they're performing. We can create more campaigns and run them across some of the different channels, but with Performance Max, your ads are going to be running across all the different channels, and we're really going to be focused on conversions. If your goal is to kind of build a little bit more product awareness or brand awareness, you can also use these same objectives. You don't have to use the brand awareness and reach objective. So if we choose leads, we click on continue, and then try to use a display campaign, discovery, video, or use all 3, see what performs the best for you. I generally see the best from video. Beyond search and Performance Max, video tends to perform the 3rd best for me. Shopping performs great if you have an e-commerce website. Display and discovery, to me, are a little bit more brand awareness and trying to build up a little bit more interest in your products, your services, and your business. So definitely better for larger advertisers. If you're an advertiser with a limited budget, which is most of us, then what you want to do is focus your campaigns on search and Performance Max. Make sure you're using conversion tracking and conversion value if you can, and then let your campaigns run. So after I launch a campaign like this, I'm going to keep working on my search campaign and keep building out my ad groups. I'm going to keep working on my Performance Max campaign and building out my asset groups because I just have the one asset group right now, so we might as well create more asset groups within this campaign. It's only going to help our performance over time. Let your campaign run for a few days. You can always set smaller budgets and increase over time. And as you start getting performance, what you want to do is kind of monitor that performance and optimize your campaign. So that's going to be the next step of this video. I'm not going to be going over that in this video. We are going to be ending our Google Ads tutorial here. So by the end of this, you should know how to create an account, how to set up your billing, how to start conversion tracking, how to set up remarketing, and then how to create search campaigns and Performance Max campaigns with a good process for how to build out a full organized campaign that's driving relevant traffic to your pages and hopefully driving conversions. So once those conversions start rolling in, you're going to see performance improve and improve. So don't get down if you start spending $10, $20, $30 without a conversion. You're going to have to spend a few $100s. And once you do that, you're going to be able to start seeing your conversions come in and your campaign performance will improve. So if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside.